from the Fight Now TV studio, it's time for your News Hits.
What's up, fight fans? I'm Bridget Trung, right into the ring where two of the best 154-pounders are set to slug it out Saturday night. Undefeated powerhouses collide as WBC champion Saul Canelo Alvarez meets WBA champ Austin No Doubt Trout. This highly anticipated title unification bout goes down at the Alamo Dome in San Antonio, Texas. At just 22 years of age, Canelo has racked up 41 pro wins, 30 of which have come by way of knockout. He most recently extended his undefeated streak by beating down Josecito Lopez for 5 rounds en route to a TKO victory. Canelo now moves on to another stiff test in Trout. The New Mexico native recently stunted a Mexico versus Puerto Rico showdown between Alvarez and Miguel Cotto. Now, with Trout solidifying his place amongst the elite by defeating Cotto with a 12-round unanimous decision. A little side note to this fight as well, Trout owns a victory over Canelo's brother Rigoberto, and the WBC champ says this fight is actually about revenge. Here's Fight Now TV's boxing analyst James Smith on this title unification bout.
There is a lot on the line. I think this is a very good fight. Both fighters, I think, in a position to show who they really are, and I think at the end of the day, Canelo Alvarez will prove he's the real deal. Not that Trout's not a good fighter, but I really believe that Canelo Alvarez will jump on him early, often. He's one of the best combination punchers in boxing today, and his power and the lack thereof of power from Trout will be the difference.
Main Events is bringing heavyweight boxing back to New York City. A former cruiserweight returns to the ring as a heavyweight to welcome an undefeated beast to America in the theater at Madison Square Garden. Steve Cunningham looks to rebound from his loss to Tamaz Adamek against Tyson Fury tomorrow night. The 6'9" behemoth is undefeated in 20 fights, 14 by knockout, while Fury makes his U.S. debut against his toughest opponent to date. Here is Main Event CEO Kathy Duva on this IBF heavyweight title eliminator.
You know, we've got all the elements for a tremendous match because you've got the classic experienced fighter fighting the young guy who's coming up. Tyson Fury is the biggest fighter that Steve Cunningham certainly has ever faced. On the other hand, Steve Cunningham is a former world champion who is probably the best boxer that Tyson Fury has ever faced. I think this is just one of those situations where everything aligns and everything's perfect and they're both going to fight their hearts out and fans are going to be the winners.
All right, to the Octagon now, where the UFC has touched down in San Jose, California for UFC on Fox 7. The main card is stacked with 4 matchups that will see the promotion's best collide with Strikeforce graduates. In the main event, reigning UFC lightweight champion Smooth Benson Henderson will put his belt on the line against Strikeforce champ Gilbert Melendez. This marks Henderson's first title defense since knocking off Nate Diaz at UFC on Fox 5. Henderson may be up against his biggest challenge so far in his 3rd title defense against El Nino, who finally gets his chance to prove why he is regarded as one of the top lightweights. Melendez, who has never been stopped in 23 fights, rides a 7-fight win streak into his Octagon debut. Also making his promotional debut is Strikeforce heavyweight Grand Prix champ Daniel Cormier, who meets Frank Mir in the co-main event. The Olympic wrestler heads into this bout undefeated in 11 pro fights. Cormier most recently got by Dion Staring at Strikeforce's finale, and he now enters the big stage against Mir, who hasn't fought since last May when he lost to Junior Dos Santos. But in his 22-fight career, Mir has never lost 2 fights in a row. Dropping down to the 155-pound division as Nate Diaz goes head-to-head against Josh Thompson. Both fighters are on the rebound from respective title losses. Diaz has hinted at making a move back to welterweight regardless of the outcome on Saturday night. And Thompson is out for one more crack at Melendez after a controversial split decision loss in their 3rd bout. All right, here's the complete lineup. Matt Brown kicks off the Fox broadcast against rising star Jordan Main, who takes the spot originally held by Dan Hardy. And here's the prelims, loaded with former Strikeforce fighters and, of course, phenomenal fights. Solid from top to bottom. UFC on Fox 7 goes down tomorrow from San Jose. Well, that will do it for this edition of News Hits. Gennady Golovkin versus Nobuhiro Ishida is coming up next, as are every night a different fight feature. Now, don't forget, you can follow us on Twitter and Facebook or at FightNow.com for all the latest in combat sports. Thanks for watching.
Hi, I'm Frank Mir, and you're watching Fight Now TV.